Hey, what's up guys? It's Bird here from Addict Gaming, and I am making this video because I'm actually making another video talking about some tips to give to newer players who are not very familiar with Guild Wars 2 PvP. So one of the tips I have on the other video that I'm going to make, spoiler alert, is that you need to know your map mechanics. So I wanted to make this video, so instead of talking about the map mechanics in the other video, I could just link it to this video. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to hop into some private servers or try to find some custom arenas that are playing on a certain map and just quickly go over the map mechanics. Now, some maps have way more mechanics than others, so some might be really short, some might be a little bit longer, but hopefully we can make this a very quick video. So let's jump into the game browser. Now, I don't have a custom arena myself. I used to, but me and Cyrus put way too much money into it, so we said enough of that. So hopefully I can find some servers and we won't be bothered so the game doesn't start. I can run around the map. So alright, this is Battle of Kylo. Let's start with this one. Now, Battle of Kylo doesn't have too many mechanics. The only mechanic it really has is the trebuchet. And pretty much what you can talk about the trebuchet is, first of all, you need to have a good build to play the trebuchet. So when you are strategizing with your team, don't volunteer to take the trebuchet if you don't have a good build to play it. Usually you want a more defensive kind of build on the trebuchet, so if people are coming to attack it, they can defend it. And like, for example, I really like a turret engineer on a trebuchet. That's something me and my guildies use. But really the best class and builds you can put on a trebuchet actually is a mesmer. And the reason for that, let me get a little bit of lag here. And the reason for that is because the mesmer has a portal, and so if the trebuchet is going down, the mesmer can throw its portal down, and then once the trebuchet goes down, the mesmer can run to the repair kit, throw its portal down, its portal exit down, and then grab the repair kit, come back, and it's basically an instant repair. So as far as Battle of Kylo goes, these mechanics aren't really too important to know to be really successful on the map, but other than knowing some good builds to play on the trebuchet, like if you're a backstab thief, like a dagger pistol thief, you probably don't want to be playing on the trebuchet because you want to be out on the map doing other things. You know, get somebody who will be good on the trebuchet with their build. And the only other thing I can think of really with the trebuchet is deciding, your team needs to decide if they're actually going to use the trebuchet. Using the trebuchet and not using the trebuchet are both very viable options. They just come with different challenges. So if you're going to use the trebuchet, you need to be able to protect it because the other team is going to be harassing the trebuchet, trying to destroy it. If you're not going to be using the trebuchet, then your ultimate goal is to make sure that the other team's not using their trebuchet either. Okay, so when you come into the Battle of Kylo with a team, you need to already have that planned out if you're going to use a trebuchet or not. And make sure you have somebody going to their trebuchet who's competent enough to actually destroy the trebuchet. So for Battle of Kylo, really that's the only mechanic on this map. And again, it's not hugely pivotal to success in the map. Pretty much the only thing you would need to know is to make sure you get the other trebuchet down. I don't want to exit out, so let's go back to the game browser and let's try to jump on a map with a few more mechanics. Let's see if this thing ever loads. Let's see what we got. I am only covering the ones that are currently in tournament PvP, so that would be Legacy of Foefire, Forest of Niflhel, Battle of Kylo, and Temple of Silent Store. I'm not going to cover Skyhammer. I'm not going to cover Spirit Watch because those currently aren't in the tournament rotation. And I'm not going to cover the Team Deathmatch PvP map. Although I wish they would put that in like maybe its own queue to do some deathmatch tournaments. That would be fun. Okay, so let's see. Let's do Forest of Niflhel. Okay, we'll join this one. Okay, there we go. So, Forest of Niflhel, there are two creatures. I guess the mechanic is like boss slaying or boss killing, and when you kill a certain boss on this map, you will receive 25 points for your team score, and also your individual score, you receive 25 points as well. Okay, so let's join a team. And for this map, well, if I ever load in. Okay, we'll open up the map. Now, on blue side, over here, where you see me pinging, you have Chieftain. And then on the red side, over here, you have Spawnier. They both fight a little differently. Spawnier puts out a lot more damage, but it has a lot less HP. And Chieftain will take a little longer to kill, but a lot of his moves are dodgeable. Actually, I find Chieftain a lot easier to kill with a wider range of builds. Where Spawnier, you're gonna want a really good build to kill Spawnier. Now, as far as the bosses go, the one thing you really need to learn is the respawn timer on the bosses, and this will also apply to when we get into Temple of Silent Storm, is knowing times. So you want to make sure that you actually get to the boss. After you kill it, you will know the respawn time, which is 3 minutes. So if you kill the boss at 12 minutes in the tournament on the map time, then the boss is going to respawn at 9 minutes. So instead of waiting for the symbol to come up and you can say when the map says that Chieftain has spawned, and then going to Chieftain, what would be much better is actually before 9 minutes comes, maybe like 9:05 or 9:10, you're already heading to Chieftain. So as soon as it pops up, you could kill it right away and then go about your business. So at the beginning of the match, when the two monsters are killed, or if the two monsters are killed, there's actually a viable strategy where you don't even kill the monster at the start, but you'll focus on your home point in mid, and then go back and kill the monster. You want to focus on when both of the monsters are killed, and then make a mental memory of when you need to go back to those. Maybe if you're in TeamSpeak or something, it's best to say it out loud, just because that will reinforce when people need to go back to the bosses. So that's the mechanic on Forest Niflhel. That's, again, like Battle of Kylo. It's well, okay, I'll say that it is a lot more important on this map, the mechanic, because if you could get, like, say 4 monster kills, if you steal a couple of theirs, then that's already 100 points, and that's actually quite a big deal. So you should make sure that you are getting here on time to be able to kill them. And don't volunteer to solo one of the bosses if you don't think you can. What you should do is, in the Heart of the Mist, they actually have Spawnier and Chieftain. And if you're using a certain build, go over there and practice and see if you can actually kill it 1v1. And then when the time comes, if you're doing solo queue or something, you can volunteer to solo kill these bosses. And, alright, that's about it for the mechanics on Forest and Niflhel. Now let's, I don't know why I keep doing that. It's like I'm trying to leave the game. Let's go back to the game browser and find the next map, which would be either Legacy of Foefire or Temple of Silent Storm. Legacy of Foefire. It's pretty simple as well. Let's see here. Where are you? A lot of passwords. Legacy of Foefire. Okay, here we go. So we will join Legacy of Foefire. Now, Legacy of Foefire has one mechanic as well, and that is that each team has a Lord. And the Lord, when it is killed, is worth 150 points. And the Lord is also surrounded by 4 guards. You have 2 casters and 2 melee. And the casters are up front, and then the 2 melee are next to the boss. Now, the thing about the casters is they will actually cast an area projectile reflection or projectile absorption, so it will be much more difficult to kill the Lord if those 2 casters are still up. So let's join into the game and I can explain this more in the base. But one of the things that you want to do with the base and the Lord, pretty much it's standard to go for the Lord nowadays. Before, people, some people will go for it, some people just wouldn't bother. So anyway, here's where the Lord is on the blue team. So the Lord is going to be backed by this rebel here. And then you're going to have 2 guards on each side. And then you have the 2 casters up front. I'm sure you've seen it before, but one of the great things to do on this map, and this is something me and my guildies do, is that throughout the match, you're going to want somebody to tear one of these doors down. It could be right at the start, like if you're rushing the far point, then you capture the far point, have somebody destroy this. And then this will make it much easier to rush when you're going to rush the Lord later on. And another thing you could do, my wife Karen actually does this a lot for our team, is throughout the match you could come here and kill the 2 casters in front. So if these 2 casters are down and you rush the Lord, there's almost nothing the other enemy team can do to actually stop you zerging the Lord. Even if they're all here trying to defend it, you will probably kill the Lord before they end up actually stopping you. So remember breaking down this door, either this door or the other door over here. It doesn't matter. It depends on what your team wants to do. But it's usually this door over here, the side door over here. You want to break the door down throughout the match, and you also want to kill these 2 front casters. So when the time comes and you are almost at 350 points, everyone could actually leave the map, and everyone rushes the Lord. And within like 5-10 seconds, the Lord will be dead, and you guys will end up winning. So again, like before, no one really bothered with the Lord that much. Some people did, but it was not so common. Nowadays, everyone does it, so you have to be prepared. And if you're going to rush into the gate, let me lay out this example. If both teams get to 350 points, one team has destroyed this door and killed the 2 casters in front, and the other team hasn't done anything. The team that's rushing through here with the door down and the casters down already, they're easily going to win, because it takes a little bit of time to get through the door and kill the other guards. So throughout the match, if you have a chance, make sure you do that. So when your team rushes, then it's easy peasy. So that's the mechanics for this map. And let's go to Temple of Silent Storm. Actually, Temple of the Silent Storm has the most mechanics on it. That's kind of why I saved it for last. Let's see. That is Spirit Watch. Here we go. I don't want to join a public server just because I think people might join on it. Temple of Silent Storm. That is Skyhammer. Oh, come on, where are you? Oh, here we go. Okay, Temple of Silent Storm. So yeah, this one has the most mechanics on it out of any map. Most maps have one mechanic. This also has one mechanic, but there's a lot of layers to it. So this one has these communes that you can go to, and each commune that you commune with actually gives you a buff. So the important thing here to know is what the buffs actually do and the times that the buffs are actually going to come up. Because these buffs, unlike Forest of Niflhel, killing the monsters will give you a lot of points. But these buffs here can like really change the game, even if you're a few hundred points behind. So let's open up the map here. For the first buffs, you have Ferocity, which spawn on the red side, it spawns right there, and on the blue side, it spawns right here. And what Ferocity does, over here, I'll just show you. You can see the light. That's where Ferocity spawns on this side. And on the other side, it's over there, across the way. So what Ferocity does is it gives you plus 3 points for every time you kill somebody. So the default amount of points that you get for killing somebody is 5 points. So if you have one buff of Ferocity, then you get 8 points every time somebody on the enemy team dies. And if you actually have both buffs of Ferocity, then you'll actually receive 11 points for every time somebody dies on the other team. So it's pretty good. It's not actually, the other buffs are a lot stronger, but you definitely want to pick up Ferocity if you're nearby. So this one here is Stillness. This one's straight in the middle of the map. The blue spawn is over there, and then the red spawn's over there. Now what Stillness does is it gives you double the amount of points for holding on to capture points. So usually you get 1 point per tick for each point you hold. Stillness will give you 2 points per tick for each point you hold. So even if you're actually down points, 2 points to 1, you will actually be receiving the same amount of points if you had Stillness. Now the respawn timers for Stillness is, it comes on intervals. It's 11:30, and then 8:30, 5:30, and then 2:30. So those are the times you need to remember. Just like Force of Niflhel, you want to make sure you get here before the buff comes up. You don't want to wait until the buff comes up, then run here. So being prepared and being able to come here before the buff actually comes up is going to help your team a lot. And we just had somebody join, so we're just let's run down and talk about the last buff before I actually have to fight somebody. Now the last buff is the last buff is Tranquility. Oh, I have to wait. I was really hoping this isn't gonna happen, but since this is the last map I'm doing it, I'm not even going to bother. This guy can go fight himself. Anyway, Tranquility is the last buff, and that buff is down here below Stillness. And what Tranquility does is it gives all of, it automatically captures all of the points for your teams. And if any enemies are standing on the capture points, it's going to throw them off. So this paired up with Stillness will give you a ton of points. You'll be getting 6 points per tick, so it's crazy. But anyway, Tranquility, this comes up at 8:30 and 2:30. So at 8:30, you'll see Stillness and Tranquility both come up. So that's a big pivotal point in the game on this map. It's 8 minutes 30 seconds. So you need to remember that. So again, Stillness is 11:30, 8:30, 5:30, and 2:30. Tranquility is 8:30 and 2:30. So those are the important things to remember, are the respawn timers on the communes on this map. Let's leave here before this guy starts fighting me. I'll save that for another video, fighting people. Okay, exit. So anyway, those are the map mechanics, and okay, a lot of them are fairly simple. Like Temple of the Silent Storm is definitely the one you need to pay most attention to, just because there's a lot more. There's a lot more going on. Legacy of Foefire, you need to remember to get to the Lord at 350, or at least make sure be vocal about if your team is actually going to kill the Lord or not. I suggest that you probably should try to kill the Lord every single match, because that just it's extremely common now. Almost every match I play, people are going for the Lord. And remember to tear down a gate and kill the front casters if you can throughout the match before you get to 350. Just so when you zerg the Lord, it'll be much, much easier. Even if the other team's there to defend, with the 2 casters down in front, it makes it so much easier. Let's see. There is Forest and Niflhel. Remember that the respawn timer after you kill the boss is 3 minutes, so make sure you get there before the boss actually appears, so you can just kill it right away and get back to your business, capturing points and killing other people. And then Battle of Kylo, you have the Trebuchet. Make sure that your team has a set strategy on if you're going to use the Trebuchet or not. Man, this load screen is taking forever, actually. But anyway, make sure your team has a set strategy if you're going to use the Trebuchet or not, and make sure you have the right person with the right build on the Trebuchet. So those are 2 very important things for Battle of Kylo. Anyway, this has been Bird from Addict Gaming. This is for the map mechanics for PvP. This is it's a video I'm making to tie in with the other video I'll be making later on. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time.